Hello, all you rabid Lions fans, and welcome to Lions on the Prowl. News, rumors, and debates from the fans' perspective. Here's Jim and Tim.
Hello, Lions fans. Welcome to Lions on the Prowl, and we are celebrating a victory.
Yay.
Look who's undefeated.
The Lions.
Isn't that amazing? Okay, but, you know, we're going to get to the game. Let's get to shout-outs. Get those out of the way. So, Tim, any shout-outs this week?
Okay, Brian from work, Colt from work, Jeremy from work, Tim Reardon from work. That's it.
Okay. So I have Lindsay, who's a Bears fan, and she just supports the show and has shared us on Facebook and stuff like that. And we really appreciate that. Let me see. I'm gonna be done this week. No, Brendan, who was messaging me last week, I think as the game was going on, like, what's going on? All that stuff. That was pretty cool. And Marcus, who isn't here this week, he'll be back. But just a temporary, thing. He'll be back, though. All right, so let's get into it. Lions get a win.
Yeah.
The Lions ran out the clock successfully. They got a first down when they needed one.
Trusted Matthew Stafford.
Right. He got the playoff this time. And, and everything. Why does this win feel so hollow? Why does this win feel like we still don't know what this team is? But we beat the Chargers. They're a good team. But I have one question. Did the Chargers beat themselves today, or did we beat the Chargers?
I think it was kind of a little both.
Because, okay, they go all the way down the field. They miss a field goal. They go miss another field goal. And then they go to, they got the ball on the 1 yard line. They're going to punch it in, and Jelani Tavai punches it out. And Kennard recovers, fumble, the goal line, pretty much on the goal line. And then later, big heave up into the end zone, and big play Slay shows up in the moment that is a big play, and an interception.
Right.
So a 13-10 lead holds up.
Yeah. But, of course, if you look at it from the Lions' point of view, Prater missed the extra point. Prater missed the field goal. So, I mean, it was kind of like which team would really shot themselves in the foot
threw
more.
A couple interceptions in that, too. And that's the thing. I mean, okay, so it's tough for me because I'm trying to find a game ball in here. I really am. And I'm going to have to give it to Slay, even though they pretty much abused him the whole game. But he got right at the end of the game, he gets the interception. So that's one. That's the defensive game ball for me.
All right.
My offensive game ball goes to Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay today got that touchdown catch. He had 8 receptions for 117 yards and a touchdown. So very good day for him today.
Mm-hmm. Except for that time when he got caught for pass interference and actually knocked the ball onto
and knocked it onto the guy for the interception. Yeah, I know.
So and both of those players were like, it was like a good thing and a bad thing.
Right. But it's like I said, it's crazy because we're celebrating a win, guys. Right. We're undefeated, and normally you would be feeling really good about yourselves. But the Lions gave up a lot of yards. They gave up 293 yards passing. Or no, receiving. Yeah, so that's passing. Hold on. I got to get back up to here. I got this messed up. So 293 yards for Phillip Rivers today. Stafford gets 245. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Stafford. No touchdowns for Phillip Rivers and an interception.
Wow.
So the Lions did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions did good. The Lions had a sack. And guess what? So Taylor Decker misses the game, and no sacks given up.
Right.
Terrell Crosby starts the game. Yep. So here's another thing. Marcus was bringing this up last week about Hawkinson and him being just a pass catcher. Well, this week he only caught one pass for 7 yards, but there were no sacks given up.
So where is he more value as blocking?
I don't know. I mean, it could have been because I didn't I don't know. They had a game plan. Oh, another guy really stood out to me that I enjoyed watching was Ty Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Johnson got a 16-yard run. He had 5 carries for 30 yards. Kerryon Johnson had a kind of strange day. He had 12 carries for 41 yards, but also receiving-wise, he had 2 receptions for 47 yards in that really weird touchdown that he got where it's coming off of his fingers and he's bobbling it up in the air and finally gets it and then he just turns on the jets and is gone.
Right.
Our running game was not that good, I didn't think.
Right.
Our receiving game was good. And at times we just moved the ball at will.
Mm-hmm.
And then decided to shoot ourselves in the foot like we usually do.
Well, one of the things that football seems to be, especially when you're playing teams similar to each other, like we've seen right now, is where are the breaks going to go? Do the Lions get more breaks because, where it falls their way or something like that?
But to the crowd, I never expected them to beat the Chargers. Never. Not in my wildest dreams. And,
Right.
they don't have Melvin Gordon, so,
Right.
I mean, that's one thing. But they had both of their star pass rushers, and they didn't get a sack.
Right.
And we give up sacks almost every week. So is this team better? Are they undefeated good? Or they had one tie with Arizona, who was playing Baltimore to a very tight game. It was 23-17 the final.
Well, remember.
And Baltimore kicked somebody's butt last week.
Yeah. Remember, everybody said, and that Arizona was a question mark being the first game of the year. It was really hard to plan against a team like that.
I had a pretty good plan for two quarters.
Yeah.
I decided, well, let's just throw that away.
But they made adjustments too. Arizona did.
Yeah, they did, and we didn't, which is troubling to me. But yet, okay, today we walk off as a winner.
Yeah. Now
1-0 at home.
Okay, are the Lions better at protecting lead or coming back from a deficit?
Well, I'd have to say they're better at coming back.
Yeah,
they're never really good at keeping a lead.
Right.
And maybe they just need to play from behind till the end, and then we'll let time run out.
Yeah.
And win. I mean, maybe that's their thing. I don't have any idea. Anyway, Lions fans, there's hope, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know of anybody who had a particularly great day today. Jesse James showed up today. He had 3 receptions for 18 yards. Marvin Jones, 5 for 43 yards. The Hock, Hockamania. He got 1 catch for 7 yards.
Right.
That's it. And they weren't trying to get him the ball.
Right.
Which is weird after he had such a good game last game.
But one of the things that Chargers are known for is for being able to shut down tight ends like him.
I didn't know that before.
Yeah, well, that is what I was hearing in the pregame.
Oh, okay.
So they would have the answer for him, so maybe smartly Patricia went ahead and planned for that.
Or if it's working, let's go away from it, because that seems to be some of the methodology of the Lions this year.
I can't argue that point, because that sure seemed to have been it last week.
But this week
we got to win. Last week we didn't lose, but I don't know.
It's so bad, because you look at this team and you feel like, okay, we have a great run defense. No, we really don't. No, today was not a good day for us running, giving up rushing yards. But you look at the total numbers. Right. Eckler, who was really good, he only averaged 3.9 yards.
Right.
And he only got 66 yards. Their total yardage, rushing, including Phillip Rivers, 137 yards.
Right.
That's not terrible.
No.
And we held a really good running back to 66 yards. And he got most of that on a couple of different plays. But I think he got some passes, too. So, he had 67 yards in passing, too.
Right.
So that was another difficult thing. It's weird, because I think the feeling is, for me, we're 1-0-1. We're second place in the division right now, behind the Packers.
Right.
But I don't know how this team is going to keep winning like this.
Because, but this has been typical Lions.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, through all the years that been watching them, it's been that type of team. When they win, you don't expect them to win.
Right.
They look ugly. They're not. They don't go. Wins with the Lions are usually ugly wins.
Hey,
they're
a win's a win.
I know, but they're.
But
it seems like they didn't really deserve it a lot of time.
Right, but I don't know. That New England game, they looked really good last year. The Miami game, they looked really good. And honestly, I think that they did not look that great today.
Mm-hmm.
If the Chargers don't shoot themselves in the foot, they win this game easy.
But, of course, we shot ourselves in the foot, too. A lot, too.
When?
Matthew Stafford's interception.
Yeah, but that was... yeah, that's true.
The missed kicks that we had.
Right.
So, I mean, we did...
extra point in that.
Yeah,
but it just seemed like San Diego just was trying to give this game away.
Mm-hmm. And we were.
You could see. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't see that at all. Really. I don't. Okay, so you missed one field goal. We missed one extra point. That's a total of 4 points, right?
Right.
They missed 2 field goals, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns actually,
and 2 interceptions by us. That we went ahead and Stafford had 2 interceptions.
Because they even give us 1 touchdown because the other one wasn't even close. So, but I'm saying, okay, so that's 3, 6, plus, say they get the extra points. So that's 14 points. It's 20 points they left on the table. We left 4. And even if you give them the touchdown, it's 11. You know, that Galladay fiasco thing in the end zone? Yeah. Even if you give them that. But I just think that it just looked like Phillip Rivers, you could see it, man. He was thoroughly pissed.
Right.
He was just like, this can't be happening type thing. Especially with that second missed field goal.
Right.
It's like, no way, you know. So I do think that there was a problem with San Diego trying to give the game away, and Detroit accepted. I mean, how much is it that the Lions have done a good job on defense? I don't know. At points, they did a really good job on defense. Things that they did, like, punching the ball out when somebody's trying to put it over the line. Jelani Tavai played well.
Right.
The 2 games I've seen him, he's played pretty good. There's a couple plays I've seen where they scored a touchdown running play, and he has no idea what's going on. He tried to take the outside, and then he kind of bounced back and forth and just stood there. I watched him go in the end zone. It was a real short play, but I mean, there's just things you see, and he'll learn. I mean, he's going to be good. We were missing Taylor Decker, but we were also missing our middle linebacker again. Jared Davis didn't play this game. Rashawn Melvin played this game, but we seen a lot of whatever that guy.
But see, this also brings into kind of supports a point that I had before too. Decker, last week he was playing hurt, injured back, and it showed.
Yeah,
it showed on his performance. So you go ahead and you let an injured player play like that. It does take the quality of the type of player that he is and the quality that he puts on the field, and he's not he's not as effective when he's injured, of course. So this week he was unable to play, and we had a different outcome. The offensive line did look better.
I thought they looked better. I don't think they did enough in the running game. I seen a couple really nice runs.
Right.
Because of the offensive line, but most of the time it was the same old.
Right.
I don't think the running game looked great today at all. I don't think it looked great last week either. I like Kerryon Johnson. I told you when we drafted him, I didn't think he was going to be a star, but I thought he was going to be good.
Right.
I like this Ty Johnson guy. If he would get some more snaps and he can protect the football, I would really like to see more of him.
Yeah. Now, of course, because we want that. We know that's not what they're going to do.
Well, of course.
They'll do something totally opposite.
Of course.
Yeah. Because sometimes you gotta wonder, does this coaching staff have a clue? Does any coaching staff for Lions have a clue?
I question the fact when he was saving his timeouts when it was like third down and they were on like the somewhere yard line, very close in there towards their end zone. And then, of course, the Lions screwed it up and let them go almost all the way down the field. Right. And I'm like thinking to myself, why doesn't he call a timeout here? We could get the ball back with some time left. We might be able to score before halftime.
Right.
But, I think Patricia knows how bad his team is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really bad because I seen this game. I watched them and I was not thoroughly impressed.
Right.
I wasn't. It wasn't like they, marched off to victory and stuff like that by pummeling this team. They just didn't. There were good plays. There were good plays in the game.
Well, one thing that we don't have what we used to have under Coach Caldwell or even Swartz is we had the belief that Stafford could bring this team back in the fourth quarter.
Well, he did.
I know he did, but I'm just saying that, like last year, did you feel that?
No.
Did you feel that before this game started that Stafford could? And I ain't blaming on Stafford. I'm blaming this on.
Well, I think Stafford had a lot going
on the
on.
system.
I think there's a lot more to that.
But I'm just saying that when they changed to the system that we got now, that belief, especially with the way they played last year, all right, it wasn't there. The style of play that we do now was not there to bring the team back.
But do you think it wasn't there because his wife had, tumor in her brain and he had a broken back? And
I'm not saying this is Stafford's fault at all. Okay.
Yeah, but you did say that.
No,
you said,
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I
because you said, do you think that Stafford didn't have the ability to come back last year? And I agreed with you.
I'm talking
you're
about
saying it's
the
not
team.
his fault, but then
The
you're saying
team.
you said Stafford. That's what
team.
you said. You said Stafford.
But because of the way the team that was put on the field by Patricia, not because of what Stafford was doing.
I don't know. I mean, I think it had a lot to do with the offensive line being terrible. I think it has a lot to do with Stafford being injured and stuff like that.
Okay, so the offensive line was great under Caldwell.
I didn't say it was great, but it sure was a lot better. I mean, I don't think it was, but I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, except that Matthew Stafford had a lot of problems at home, and he also had, something wrong with his back. They called it a broken back. I'm just going to go with that because I don't know the medical terminology as well.
Right.
So we're going to go with he was injured pretty badly, playing hurt. Was he playing hurt under Caldwell? Probably, but I don't know about all the stuff at home, how it affected him mentally.
But I'm just saying that with the system that Coach Caldwell had, before he was fired, the
system would have been the offensive coordinator.
I know. But remember, Patricia had wanted his style in there, and the offensive coordinator has to follow what the head coach says. So
yeah, depending.
So that was not his.
So who are you trying to blame?
I'm trying to blame. I'm trying to blame.
You're trying to blame here because I'm
getting confused. Who am I trying to blame? Yeah, obviously, but I'm trying to blame the change of the coaching staff, the change of the system when they when Patricia was brought in.
Yeah,
the style of play changed because before there was no hope. I mean, there was no hope as far as for ever coming back in these games last season.
Right, and I think it's 1 year anomaly. I don't believe that's going to be the case going forward. And I think you're taking 1 year out of 10 and just saying, "Oh, well, this is something that we need to watch out for now." I think there was a lot of things that went wrong during that 1 year, and I think that this year's a different year.
But I actually heard other sportscasters talking about this in the pregame on the radio, where they were saying they did not have the confidence that the Lions could come back like they did before.
Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Something that I
see,
just
but
got on myself.
But that's probably, is that national or is that local people? Did you hear that from? That's weird. Because I'm just giving you my opinion. I think last year's an outlier. I think it's an anomaly. I don't think it's Stafford. Stafford comes up and throws for 385 yards the first week.
I don't think it's Stafford either.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
It's the same coaches, except for it's not Jim Bob Cooter anymore. Now it's Darrell Bevell. So that's the only difference. And Stafford's throwing like out of his mind the first week, 200 and some yards this week. You know, what do you get? 245 this week. So he's already over 600 yards for the year in 2 games.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's doing pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And for comebacks, I still think he could do it. I don't think there's a difference. I think the difference wasn't him more than anything else. I really do. I think that he had a really bad year. And some people do.
Right. Okay.
So that's where I'm at on it. I don't see it as, I mean, it could be the coaching change, and then we're changing the offensive coordinator again. But he seems to be handling that pretty well.
Right.
You know, he did get 2 interceptions today. He didn't have any interceptions last week. You know, one was he was just trying to throw it, make something happen. And that sometimes when you got a gunslinger quarterback that believes in himself that much, you're going to get a few interceptions. He tried to throw it into tight windows that he probably shouldn't. But there was a couple of plays where he threw it into tight windows he probably shouldn't. He got a touchdown. He got, or he got first downs and stuff like that because there's a couple guys right there and boom, you know. So that arm is something else.
Right.
And sometimes you do good with it. Sometimes you pay for it a little bit. You know, that's when you have that gunslinger mentality, which I think he does. Interesting take, though, about not coming back this year, but we haven't really had to come back this year. I mean, this game we were down a little bit, but we scored 1 touchdown, and that was it. We were winning. So I don't know, but I mean, I guess it's a comeback.
Yeah. But I know
it's not a dramatic comeback. Let's put it that way.
All last year, with the way they were on Stafford, with the way they were sacking him, with all this other stuff, that all factored into where he was not able to come back. I mean,
yeah, but I'm just saying, I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. But and tried to establish the run game, and that didn't go over so well.
Right.
And there are some games that, the Miami game, I think we played a really good game.
Right.
I think we played a really good game in New England. I have not seen this team play that good this year, except for a couple quarters in Arizona where they looked really good.
Right.
Where the defense looked outstanding. Defense did not look good today. They were not stopping the run. This is what I see. Maybe I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to say, okay, here's what I see. Everybody, they can debate me. That's fine. I don't have a problem with them debating me or whatever. But this is what I see. I thought the offensive line played okay. They were better in pass protection. They did do a couple run plays that were really, really good. Ragnow looked like he played well.
Right.
It looked like they kept switching out people again, which I still hate that.
Right.
Glasgow was out. Wiggins was in. Then you had Barbie's husband, Joe Dahl, in there for a while. And it just kept shuffling them in and out. I'm like, I guess it works on the defensive line, so why not? But, I mean, there needs to be some sort of continuity.
Right.
And I don't know. They did get better from last week to this week.
Yeah.
Remember what Patricia said last year? He said, wait till October to see what this team is, or November or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And everybody got mad at that.
Yeah.
Because he was bracing us for a horrible season, which is what I thought.
And by the time October got there, they were really, really freaking horrible. A lot worse than they were in the middle.
Right. But we beat a good team today.
Yeah, we did.
How we beat them, I guess, is kind of, I don't know, wasn't a dominant win. I'm not going to say they didn't deserve to win, because they did, obviously. But I'm so underwhelmed right now. There's certain plays that they look amazing. They have flashes of greatness. And I think Oh, yeah. I was going to touch on this, too. I think Jamal Agnew lost a job today.
I agree. Two fumbles, two games, 2 fumbles.
Not only that, Amendola looked great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, to be honest, Agnew has not looked well, even when he doesn't fumble.
Right.
Or muff the punt or whatever he's doing. Can't have those mistakes, and he keeps making them. And, he got benched, and he should have got benched.
Yep.
But Amendola looked awesome.
Mm-hmm. Another thing, we see penalties were killers on both teams.
Yeah, there was a lot of flags flying today. I think it was worse against Detroit, like it usually is.
Right.
But I think it wasn't so unfair that it was a decisive advantage. I don't think that. Right. But I do think that the refs were flag happy.
Yeah. Now, do you think that Darius Slay is still because last year, of course, he had his troubles. He got injured, stuff like that. We're seeing him getting beat this week against a very good player, of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And you're seeing him getting a lot of penalties and stuff like that. So is he still capable of being that Pro Bowl player?
I think he is. I still think he has some issues, but I also believe that Keenan Allen is one hell of a player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he won most of the battles. But when it really counted,
right,
Slay got the interception.
That's true.
So, does he dominate him throughout the game? I think he did. I really do. He's 8 receptions for 98 yards, averaged 12 yards, 12.3. But so I think he dominated Slay.
Okay, yeah.
For the most part. But when it came down to the big play, guess who showed up? Big play Slay.
Right.
So Slay has 5 solo tackles, sorry. He has 2 pass defenses and that big interception.
Right.
And Rashawn Melvin had 2 pass defenses, which is good. I just think that I think he's going to be all right. I think there's some top-level people in this league on both sides of the ball, and it was just a really good matchup. And, I think he lost today. I do, overall.
Right.
But he did get the interception at the end. So I don't know. Like I said, it could go either way on that one right now. But for the rest of the season, I think he's solid.
Yeah. And
I do.
He did pretty good. He did good last week,
Trey Flowers,
he hasn't proven it.
Hasn't done anything as far as I'm concerned yet. And we're paying a lot for this guy. At least we are next year. 1 tackle. That's what he did today. And 1 quarterback hit.
Right.
No sacks. No stats at all besides those 2. We're paying this guy a lot of money.
And of course, he's probably still injured. You're probably right you're right about him being injured before the season.
Yeah.
You're kind of wrong about him being out the whole season, obviously.
Right.
Because
he's there, but who knows if he's hurt.
Is it the injury that because, he was questionable for last game as far as even being there because of his shoulder injury and stuff like that. So they were protecting him as long as they could. So when will we see the real Trey Flowers?
I'm hoping we haven't seen the real Trey Flowers, because if we had, there ain't much to see.
That's why he said when will we see him? Or at least a healthy one, the reason we paid all this money for.
Right. Special teams was kind of awful today.
And last week too.
Yeah. Overall. Prater hit some field goals.
Right.
Last week.
Yeah, it was different parts of the. Of course, Agnew was awful both weeks.
So if we're I said, if you're giving game balls, you got to give the opposite. And Jamal Agnew has got to be my toilet bowl player of the week.
Right.
I hate to say this, but I think he's done.
Yeah.
And it's not because he screwed up 2 weeks in a row and they pulled him. It's because how well the guy that came in and replaced him did.
Right.
There was a noticeable difference to me. and maybe I'm wrong, but I just felt. I mean, Jamal Agnew ran backwards last game. He fumbled or muffed the punt. This week he fumbles.
Right.
You just can't do that type of stuff as a return guy.
Yeah,
cannot do that.
Especially when that's your major job.
Yeah, you have one job, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, he doesn't, because he does play a little bit of corner as well.
Well, I did say major job.
Yeah. But there is hope, fans. We did not lose this year yet.
And
I mean, that's what's crazy. We have not lost this year. We've tied, which felt like a loss.
Yeah, I did.
But it wasn't a loss.
Because the victory, the actual win, was taken away from us. And that's why I felt like, it was taken away from us as fans by the way the Lions performed at the end.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that the Lions, I don't know, they backed their way into a tie.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the game, I thought that Arizona was just going to march down the field and then kick the field goal and it was over. Well, but they didn't. We actually stopped them.
In overtime, it was like...
That's what I meant, overtime.
Yeah, and in overtime, the Lions played better than they did in the fourth quarter.
Yes,
because
I think so. I
mean, the defense stepped up when it was absolutely necessary not to
But they did that again in this game.
Right.
They don't look great the whole game, and then they come up and they look decent enough to win the game. I mean, hey, fans, let me ask you this question. If we're not dominant over any team, say, and we just keep winning or tying, God forbid.
Yeah.
But if we just keep winning and it's ugly, do you accept it? I mean, do you accept it as they're good, or do you think they're just lucky? Was this win because the Lions were so good, or the Lions were just lucky? And luck and Lions really don't go along too well together, usually. So really think about that, guys.
Right.
That's a point I wanted to make anyway. Defensively, they have a lot of good defensive tackles. But they were not doing much of anything today.
But how many other teams do you see, when we play like Dallas or Green Bay or whatever, you see what it does take luck to win. I don't care how good of the team.
Oh, but he retired, so we can't really have it. Oh, okay, the other luck.
Yeah, but you got to have lucky breaks go your way.
You do.
Because
you do. That should be a new cereal, Lucky Breaks. If people don't know it, I'm always tired on Sundays, and my shop believes in working us at to absolute death.
Right.
So, that's why I'm tired today, and a little more goofy than I usually am, with less energy. But Lions fans, tell us what you think. This is kind of the problem for me. I see them as lucky, and I don't see them as good. But could I be wrong? I told you people, I said 7-9 was, pretty much where I see this team at. But the games that, the one game I had them winning Arizona, they tie. So that's not a win. But I had them losing, to San Diego, and they beat them. So now, it turns it in, kind of in our favor. So at least for ESPN, screw you. We're not going 0-11.
Yeah.
That thing predicted like over 1,000 different scenarios and came up with 0-11 for the Lions for the first 11 games.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Never trust the computer.
Right.
I'm just saying. Because I don't know why. We're undefeated.
Yeah.
They were the way they had it, we wouldn't have won a game.
Mm-hmm.
Now we won one and tied one, so we've never lost.
Right.
Defense didn't. Jelani Tavai looked great. I thought in most of the things. Tracy Walker was okay. Quandre Diggs with a big hit. Played pretty well. Rashawn Melvin on one leg played pretty good. It's kind of hard to hop around and cover people, but no, I'm kidding. He almost didn't play again this week because of a knee. And then he comes up with some big plays, and that's got to be difficult.
Right.
So they're in Kennard again. I thought he had a pretty good game. Not great, but pretty good. They got some pressure on him, on the quarterback. The one time they collapsed both sides of the pocket, they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, but of course, San Diego did what we did last week. They had a lot of sacks.
What?
Last week, San Diego had a lot of sacks.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. I didn't understand what you were saying.
So they did what we did as far as for concentrating this week of trying to get, trying to eliminate those.
Right. And I thought we did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we did a good job eliminating that. I was thinking about something and then I lost it. Okay, I'll have to come back to that later, right. I guess. But I think offensively they look good. Marvin Jones is a mystery to me right now because they'll target him every once in a while, but it's almost like they don't need him and you forget about him. At least I did.
Right.
I'm like, oh, look, it's Cal. Oh, wait, no, it's Marvin Jones. Who's he? I don't know. He did okay.
We had a Marvin Jones sighting.
We did. And Amendola was kind of silent today with the ball. I mean, he did the return thing.
Right.
But I don't remember him getting a reception. Let me look that up real quick because I don't remember him getting a reception. No receptions and one target.
Wow.
So the two players that made our offense last week is Hawkinson and Amendola.
Mm-hmm.
And they were targeted a total of 4 times.
And they got how many yards combined?
7.
Yeah. But we won this game and we lost.
We tied.
We did tied last. Oh God, that does still seem like a loss. I mean,
it does still seem like a loss because we were up by so many points. Now, if we were the team coming back, it would have felt like a win.
Right.
But we weren't the team coming back.
Right. They were.
We go to Philadelphia next week.
Oh wow.
This is a game I have us losing.
So what's new, Jim?
Well, I have them losing the next 2 because then they got Kansas City coming in too. But Lions do win games that look like they're impossible to win. San Diego was a game that a lot of people, I think everybody picked San Diego over Detroit.
But I did hear where PFF was, on their show earlier in the week. I said I heard where Rivers was going to have a lot harder time against the Lions. So there is some respect.
Well, when they were playing, ESPN has no respect for us whatsoever. No. But they were doing this pick 'em, sit 'em thing, and they said to play Hawkinson and sit Galladay for fantasy.
Say what?
Galladay ends up with 117 yards, and Hawkinson ends up with 7. Good going, ESPN.
Yeah,
good job there, guys. Keep hating.
Right.
Because they said everybody was sit 'em for our team pretty much. I can't remember all the guys. They said Stafford, and I think it was Kerryon Johnson too. They said I don't remember, but anyway, and San Diego had a poor run defense last week, and this week we can't run the ball on them either.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Right.
I mean, we didn't get that many yards rushing, and it looks like it's going to be running back by committee type thing, which I'm fine with. Let's see, what did we do? Total rushing, and I don't have that up here right yet. Okay, I don't have that. Oh, here it is. Okay, so our total rushing with our 5 people, including Stafford.
Right.
That's Kerryon Johnson, Ty Johnson, of course Stafford, C.J. Anderson, and J.D. McKissick. Why do we have all these initials on our team? Anyway, 28 carries for 94 yards. So the average was 3.4.
So, okay.
Not good, really.
Nope.
And you had a really nice run in there, so,
Right. But maybe they have all those initials on the teams because they're afraid you're going to make fun of their names.
Or it's to be anonymous because you're on the Lions team. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But you know how you put all that with Kerryon Johnson, Roy Woodson.
Let's kind of look real quick at the draft picks that are played in this game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is Quinn draft picks now.
Yep.
Who led the team in tackles? Tracy Walker. Tracy Walker led the team in tackles with 10 tackles.
Okay.
1 tackle for loss. Jelani Tavai was in second place with 9 tackles.
Right.
Quandre Diggs is the next up with 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, those are all the first 3 players, first 2 at least. He gave Diggs an extension when he got in.
Right.
But those 2, Tracy Walker was somebody we never heard of before.
Right.
Jelani Tavai, another one we never heard of before.
Right, which
kind
we
of
thought he was
upset.
crazy.
Yeah, we thought they were crazy. Turns out these guys aren't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, not bad. So we go to Philadelphia next week. And what do you think about that game, Tim?
Oh, God. I think you guys better have your crying towels ready.
I want the crying towels ready.
Because I think Philadelphia is going to light us up.
I got that same thought, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's weird because this team is just they don't look good. And the eye test, they don't look great.
Yeah. But
they haven't suffered a loss yet, so
okay, but at Philadelphia, even when we were a competitive team, whenever you go to Philadelphia, and I'm sounding like you. Okay?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, but
it's an improvement.
It ends up just freaking being a crap storm that the Lions play because they don't know how to win at Philadelphia. They don't know.
It's weird because here's the thing I see that's missing with this team. If there's an element that I see that's missing with this team, it's killer instinct.
Right.
It's going for the throat. You know what I'm saying?
And they are the Lions. My God, become what you're representing.
Become what you represent. Yeah. Because it's like they won today, but it was 13-10.
Mm-hmm. Right. And if they would have had the killer instinct last week, maybe they wouldn't have had a tie.
Last week it's more visible, I think, than this week.
Right.
This week I was upset. Sometimes I thought the play calling was just a little too bland. I do like that weird reverse they ran.
Right.
I thought that was outstanding. I thought that was a good play. Where I think that was the Kerryon Johnson touchdown run, where he looked off one way and then threw it the opposite way. It looked like it was going to be a bubble screen to the left side, and then it turned into a screen pass on the right side, which I thought was really well ran.
Right.
Ragnow at the end of that, I think it was the touchdown, as Ragnow was running down the field knocking people back. But I mean, if the offensive line can continue to hold together,
right.
Stafford had a little bit of time, and when he has time, you can see that he can get people open. Or he could find people. Hawkinson had a bad day.
Right.
But that's rookies, He had a couple penalties. He had, even one penalty where he was like he false started or something. They actually took him out of the game and, coached him up on the sidelines, which I thought was kind of good. You need to coach up your rookies.
Right.
5th round draft pick in the game today. A Warrior.
Yeah.
Our cornerback. So we got the guys that Quinn picks. If he keeps them, they play.
Right. If
he don't wait.
If they're a bust, he gets rid of them.
Yep. And so Tracy Walker starting. You got Jelani Tavai starting.
Yep.
I mean, just people rag now, of course, but these draft picks seem to be really good players. But are they really good players because we don't see better players, or are they really good players for this team, this defense? And I'm trying to figure out if these are really, really good players, or they're just really good for the Lions.
Okay, and another thing, to go further on that question, are they going to make the Lions a better team, especially in the long run?
Yeah, I agree with that. How are they going to develop into a better team? So wrapping it up this week, Lions win, and that's great news. They still kind of look like garbage, but yet they win.
Right.
So we can't say anything, that bad. And we're not trying to be. It's not a hating thing, but they did not dominate any aspect of this game to me. Their offense didn't look great. It didn't look terrible, but it didn't look great. And I don't think the defense looked especially well either.
Right.
There were a couple times they stood up and did really well, but there's most of the time where they were giving up a lot of screen passes. Really hurt us.
Yeah.
That hurt us bad, and I got to watch that for the rest of the year. But it is what it is. It's a Lions win, folks, and I'm sorry. It's not that I'm not excited about it. I'm very, very tired, so that's what it is. And you guys have a wonderful week. Tim, take it home.
All right. Well, remember, go Lions. Lions on the prowl. One pride.